Well, hey there, this is Seth from the REtipster blog, and today I wanted to show you about this interesting website I discovered a few months ago, and it's called Realty Shares. And the reason I want to tell you about this is because I get emails every so often from readers who they don't necessarily come out and say it this bluntly, but basically what their issue is they've already done fairly well financially. They have a good nest egg or a pretty good income. And the idea of investing in real estate sounds really appealing, not only as a way to diversify, but also to earn a better return on their investment and maybe even develop some kind of stream of passive income. But the problem is these people really have no experience, no real practical know-how when it comes to finding deals, financing them the right way, getting proper management, doing rehabs, all this stuff. I mean, there is a ton of skill and just industry knowledge that is baked into those things if you want to do it and succeed at it. For those of you who are out there running real estate investing businesses, whether it's house flipping or rental properties or land flipping like I do, all of those things just inherently require a lot of knowledge and experience in order to do it without losing your shirt and really hurting yourself. So if somebody doesn't really have the experience or even really the desire to learn how to do all that stuff and to build a new business and everything that comes along with that, I think this site right here, Realty Shares, could be a really good option just in terms of making it very easy for people to invest smaller chunks of money in actual real estate investments. And again, I'm still getting acquainted with it, but from what I've seen of this site, it seems pretty legit. I actually just signed up for an account a few days ago, and I've been looking at some of their investments. And the way this site works is there's like a team of underwriters who looks at a lot of different real estate projects across the country, and they only accept about 2% of those projects. And then of the projects that get approved and basically meet all the standards required to make up what they consider to be a good real estate investment, one that has a pretty reasonable likelihood of succeeding, they put them on here. And essentially you can invest your money in increments of $5,000 or higher. And in some cases you can even invest less than that depending on the type of deal you want to invest in. As I was looking through this site, it almost reminded me of like a micro lending platform where you can just invest smaller amounts of money without putting up all the funds for the entire loan, just kind of play a smaller part in that. And then in time, that loan gets paid back, you get your investment back, and then you can reinvest it. The difference is that this particular site is geared specifically towards real estate investing. And the types of deals you can invest in are debt deals, preferred equity deals, and joint venture equity deals. And the difference between those are with like debt deals and preferred equity deals, you're almost sort of like investing in a loan. So the funds that you put into the project are lent out to another real estate investor who, buys a property, rehabs it, flips it, or does some kind of improvement and sells it for a higher amount. And then you get paid interest during the term of that loan. And when it's all paid off, you get all your money back and you can then reinvest it. And that's assuming everything goes according to plan. Whereas with a joint venture type deal, you are actually owning a portion of that property. So Realty Shares will create a new unique LLC for that property and then buy it, and then you have an ownership in that LLC through the investment in the property. And depending on whether you want to invest your money and get it back really quick, like within a year, or whether you want to just invest it and park it and then get a higher return over that period and then get it back after like 5 years, there are different pros and cons that come with the type of investment you want to do and what your long-term goals are. But anyway, what I want to do in this video is just give you a quick look at what Realty Shares is all about, just show you what their website looks like, how you can find deals and invest in them. And I'm not going to say this is like the perfect fit for everybody because it's not. You actually have to be an accredited investor to even be allowed into this and to start seeing the deals and investing, which basically means you either have to have a really good income or a nest egg saved up, and then you can get into this site and start investing. So I'm going to just show you how this all works. What you're looking at right here is the home page, and it's fairly easy to sign up for an account. All you have to do is just enter in your email address and password. So I'll go ahead and do that right here. Now keep in mind, when you're creating your password, you actually have to use an uppercase and a lowercase character. So just do that or it's not going to let you through. Then you can just click this sign up button. Then it's going to show you a page like this, and this is basically asking whether you want to be somebody who's getting money to finance your own project or whether you want to invest money. And for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm showing you how you can invest if you want to put your money into a project. So go ahead and click on this. And then right here, you just put in all your information and click continue. And then this is where it starts to get a little bit more specific about who can be involved in becoming an accredited investor with the site. So basically, you either have to be an individual with an income of more than 200 grand per year for the past 2 years, or have a net worth exceeding $1 million excluding your primary residence, or if you have a joint income with your spouse exceeding 300,000 for the past 2 years, that would also qualify you, or if you invest on behalf of a business entity with at least 5 million in assets, or a business in which all equity owners are accredited investors. So basically, you can't really get past this point unless one of these things applies to you. I'm going to go ahead and click on this one right here. And to start this off, you can go ahead and add your bank account. So basically, it would draw your investment funds directly from that, or you can just add it later and skip this part for now. And that's going to ask you to verify your email address. So I'll go and do that quick. When you go and check your email, it's going to look something like this. Let's go ahead and click that. And then something you'll see right off the bat is the SEC typically advises that investment companies like Realty Shares wait a period of 30 days before they let the investors start investing. So they call this the cooling off period. However, another thing you can do if you want to bypass this is to go ahead and fill out this suitability questionnaire. And this is something you have to fill out either way before you proceed. So it's something you might as well just go ahead and do if you want to get started. If you want to, you can also check out this video if you need more information. And near the bottom here, it shows some examples of past investments just so you can get an idea for what those look like. So anyway, let's go back up here. I'm going to start filling out this suitability questionnaire and give you an idea for what that looks like. Go ahead and click next. Note this question. At this point, we're just going to click yes, we understand the risks. And then here we're going to just check the types of properties we're interested in investing in, like all of them. I would say in terms of these types of properties, probably have 4. I'm going to say probably somewhere in the middle. And then in this case, if you've got your own LLC or trust and you're going to be investing through that, you could signify that here. And in this case, I'm just going to say no. I'll just be doing this personally. Then I'll go ahead and put today's date in here and click submit. And then at this point, we'll just have to wait for the representative from Realty Shares to contact us and verify anything else they need to know before we can move forward. So I'm going to wait for that. And once I've been allowed in to see the investment opportunities, I'll pick this back up and we can take a look at that and just give you an idea for what that looks like. Okay, I'm back. It's been about 24 hours. I actually ended up getting a call from the representative at Realty Shares a few hours after I completed my questionnaire. So it was really a pretty quick process, and the conversation we had was informing me of the risks and making sure I understood how everything worked. So it was really a pretty easy conversation, and they went ahead and improved my account and let me start browsing opportunities. So I just logged in here. We can either go up here and click Explore Investments, or we can go over here and just click this orange button. And the way this works, as the guy explained it to me on the phone, is any deals that were already out there on the open market prior to me getting approved, I can't get access to those. So it looks like there's currently 5 open investments, and all of those investments were already out there, and no new ones have come online since I got approved like an hour ago. So normally what you're going to see here, and by the way, you'll notice a lot of this stuff is blurred out. That's because I can't show it for confidentiality, but hopefully this will just sort of give you a vague idea of what the information looks like and how it's laid out. But basically there are these buttons down here that say unavailable. If those were newer ones that had just come out, instead there would be a big orange button that would allow me to click on it and start investing money. There's some information here regarding the return percentage, the minimum investment required, the approximate location where the property is located, how much has been raised to date, and how much more they still need. If we scroll down here, we can see some other ones. So you can see there's just some different types of properties. We've got a retail building here. We've got a residential opportunity right here. It looks like a bunch of apartment buildings maybe. This one here is a single family house. If we go up here, we've got a multifamily here at the top, a single family, multifamily. So you can kind of get the idea, like there's different types of properties and different minimums in terms of how much you have to invest in order to get your foot in the door on these deals. I'm going to click on this one just to see the investment details. And as you can see, there's just a nice investment summary. We can click on some photos to see more details on that. Just get an idea for what these properties look like. You can scroll down here. We can see the target holding period, minimum investment, target IRR. Got a nice investment summary. You can click and see financial information. Click on the property, just see a summary of the property, some details of how many units it is and where it's located, when it was built, what they're planning to do with the acquisition, and maybe even the rehab of this property if that kind of thing is involved. Market summary, just so we can kind of get some ideas for what the statistics are and the demographics of the area. The management of the property, so who's going to be managing it, all the way down to the individual principals who will be on the management team. And then on the documents tab, looks like we've got a track record, comparables analysis, investor package, financial summary. So we can download this stuff and just get a better look at what everything's going to look like. Take a look at the track record, see what that's like. Again, I have to blur all this stuff out because I can't just show this to the public unless you're an accredited investor. But I can just tell you from my nearly 10 years I spent in the commercial banking world, I mean, this is like all the same stuff that bankers and underwriters look at when they're deciding whether or not to lend money on a property. I mean, this is very standard what you would expect to see a big commercial bank looking at before jumping into any deal. So these guys seem to be the real deal. And just from what I can see here, they seem like they're looking at all the right stuff and analyzing the deal appropriately and developing a good understanding of what each project entails before they invest anybody's money in it. In terms of whether I'm going to be investing my own personal funds into any of these, I honestly don't know yet. I'm certainly open to it, but I've got a number of projects on the table that I'm looking at this year. So I may or I may not, but I can tell you if I do, I'll certainly do a follow-up video or blog post and just let you guys know how it's going, what the experience was like, how the process went, and if it's earning the way that these guys were expecting it to earn. And for that matter, if you end up signing up for this site and becoming an accredited investor, by all means, be sure to leave a comment below and just let us know how it's going. Let us know what the experience was like, how your investment's doing. I'd just be curious to know from everybody else out there how it went and what the experience was like. If we go back to our dashboard, again, there's not anything here because I haven't invested anything yet, but if I had, I could go ahead and click on these tabs and see a summary of my investments. Take a look at a graph showing my earnings just so I could track where things were at and how they're going. You can see statements, probably for tax purposes and that kind of thing. Go to the tax center, bank accounts. Again, I've not added my bank account yet, but that's pretty straightforward and easy to do. And really, that's all there is to it. I mean, as you can see, as time goes on, these investments will kind of turn over and old ones will go away and new ones will kind of come online, and you can take a look at them as time goes on. And I think there's many different kinds of players who are on this site. There's probably people who have millions and are constantly putting money in and getting the money back. And there's probably people who just put in, $5,000 at a time and just kind of wait for it and to see what happens. When I was talking to the folks at Realty Shares, I was told that there's somewhere around 20,000 accredited investors on this site right now. So it's not really a tiny operation. There's a lot of people who are involved with this. And the average investment size per investor is somewhere around $12,000. And I guess the average number of investors involved in each project is somewhere around 55. So it just kind of gives you an idea of how that all works and the typical investor and project size and how many people are involved. But yeah, that's really all there is to it. Again, I'm not saying this is the perfect fit for everybody. I think there's certainly people who would be better off running their own business and finding their own deals and kind of handling it all themselves. Some real estate deals can be extremely profitable, and if you are willing to handle it all in-house, you can take all of that profit. Whereas this is more for the investor who wants to kind of sit back and not do all the hands-on work, but just put their money in and let it work for them. The returns may not necessarily be as big, and they certainly won't have the kind of control that they would if they were buying a property and managing everything themselves. But that's kind of just the trade-off that comes with whether you're looking for a hands-on investment or a hands-off investment like this. So hopefully this video just gives you a good idea for what Realty Shares is all about and how the site works. And I think, it's certainly not a bad option, especially if you're somebody who doesn't have the experience or knowledge or even the desire to figure out how to run your own real estate investing business. This could be the next best bet if you really want to be involved with real estate investing on some level. So just so you know, I do have an affiliate relationship with these guys. I don't want that to sway your opinion on anything, but I just want to be be upfront and let you know I will get a small commission if you decide to sign up through the link beneath this video. And also keep in mind, if you end up signing up, you can also refer people to the site too and get paid for it. So it's not a bad deal if this is something you want to jump into with both feet. There can be some nice money-making opportunities from a few different angles. But yeah, if you're interested, be sure to check it out through the link below. As always, I appreciate your support more than you know. And whatever you decide to do, I wish you all the best on your next real estate deal.